Why is it so hard to do the things we know we should do? Going to the gym, starting that side hustle, or even just focusing on a difficult task. Our brains seem to resist anything that feels challenging. But Miyamoto Musashi, the legendary samurai, mastered the art of forcing himself to take action. Today, I'll show you how to apply his principles to conquer procrastination, tackle tough goals, and push through resistance, no matter how hard the task feels. If you've ever found yourself putting off a workout, hesitating to approach someone, or doubting your ability to achieve a difficult goal, this video is for you. By the end, you'll have 7 powerful strategies inspired by Musashi to stop overthinking, embrace challenges, and build the discipline to keep going, even when the going gets tough. Strategy 1. Start small to build momentum. Miyamoto Musashi believed in taking small, deliberate steps to conquer even the hardest challenges. In his swordsmanship, victory wasn't achieved with a single perfect strike. It was the result of flowing, consistent movements. The same principle applies to any overwhelming task in life. Imagine wanting to get fit. You're inspired by the idea of a toned body, but every time you think about starting, it feels like climbing a mountain. Long workouts, strict diets, and endless discipline make the goal seem impossible. So, you delay it another day. But Musashi's wisdom teaches us this. Stop thinking about the whole mountain and focus on taking just one step. Instead of committing to an intense gym routine, begin with something small. For example, spend 2 minutes stretching, or take a short walk around the block. Put on your workout clothes and do a few push-ups. These small actions trick your brain into moving past resistance. The hardest part of any task is starting. Once you're in motion, the rest often feels easier. By starting small, you'll generate momentum. The key is consistency, not perfection. Over time, these minor efforts will add up to something remarkable. Musashi's lesson here is simple. The first step is always the most powerful. Take it today. Strategy 2. Name the enemy. In battle, a samurai didn't swing their sword aimlessly. They identified their opponent clearly and focused their energy on defeating the immediate threat. Musashi believed this clarity of focus was essential, not just on the battlefield, but in life. When you procrastinate on a task, it often feels overwhelming or vague. For instance, you need to organize your finances, but the thought of budgeting, tax forms, and financial goals feels like a blurry, impossible mess. Musashi would advise you to define your enemy. Start by pinpointing exactly what's holding you back. Is it fear of failure, a lack of knowledge, or simply not knowing where to start? Once you've named the obstacle, you can take practical steps to overcome it. For example, if you're avoiding a raised discussion with your boss, your enemy might be fear of rejection. Break it down. Write out your key achievements. Practice your pitch, and set a date for the conversation. Naming your task's benefits can also help. Write down what success will bring. For example, asking for a raise could mean more financial freedom, or saving for a dream trip. Musashi teaches us that when the enemy is clear, fear fades, and action becomes possible. Strategy 3. Create a ritual to commit. Before stepping into battle, Musashi prepared his mind and body through rituals, like sharpening his sword and meditating. These acts weren't just practical. They signaled his full commitment to the fight ahead. You can use this same principle to overcome the mental resistance to difficult tasks. For example, let's say you've been putting off writing a report for work. Each time you sit down, distractions pull you away. Instead of diving straight into the task, create a ritual to prepare your mind. Brew a cup of tea, organize your desk, or take a few deep breaths. As you do this, tell yourself, "I'm ready to start." These small actions shift your brain into focus mode. It's like warming up before exercise. It signals that you're serious about what comes next. Musashi's wisdom reminds us that rituals aren't just about preparation. They create a mindset of commitment. By anchoring your toughest tasks in familiar habits, you make starting easier and procrastination less likely. Strategy 4. Simplify the task. Musashi wasn't just a skilled swordsman, he was also a brilliant strategist. He believed that simplicity often led to victory. A warrior wins by using only what is necessary, he said. When a task feels too big to tackle, break it down into its simplest components. Imagine you need to clean your entire home, but the sheer size of the job makes you feel stuck. Instead of trying to do it all, focus on one small area, like cleaning a single drawer or clearing off your desk. Once that's done, the momentum will often carry you to the next task. Another example, if you're building a fitness routine but feel overwhelmed by complex workout plans, start with one simple movement. Spend 10 minutes on basic exercises like squats, push-ups, or stretches. Once you've built a foundation, you can expand. Musashi's wisdom: don't overcomplicate. By focusing on one small, achievable action, you'll make progress without the weight of perfection holding you back. Strategy 5. Accept imperfection and move forward. In Japanese culture, imperfection is often seen as a source of beauty. Musashi embraced the philosophy of wabi-sabi, which values progress and authenticity over perfection. This mindset is essential for tackling difficult tasks, because perfectionism often stops us before we even begin. For example, imagine you're trying to create a dating profile, but keep rewriting your bio, overthinking your photos, and questioning your choices. Instead of aiming for the perfect profile, remind yourself that progress matters more than flawlessness. Upload the best version you have today and improve it over time. The same applies to learning new skills. If you're starting a language, don't aim to be fluent immediately. Focus on simple phrases and accept that you'll make mistakes. Those mistakes are proof that you're learning. Musashi's wisdom: perfection is the enemy of action. When you accept imperfection, you free yourself to move forward and grow. Strategy 6. Embrace a clear, empty mind. Musashi often spoke of mushin, a state of no mind, where the mind is calm, free of distractions, and fully present. Overthinking, he believed, paralyzes action. The key to overcoming this is to clear your mind and act without hesitation. Imagine wanting to approach someone at a party. You overthink every possible outcome. What if they're not interested? What if I embarrass myself? These thoughts paralyze you. Instead, adopt mushin. Clear your mind of the what-ifs and take one small step. Walk up and say hello. If you're putting off a daunting task, like studying for an exam, don't plan every detail. Set a timer for 5 minutes and start reading the first page. By focusing only on the present moment, you'll bypass the mental clutter that holds you back. Musashi's wisdom: when your mind is free of noise, your actions become powerful and focused. Strategy 7. Build strength through daily practice. Musashi's mastery came from relentless daily practice. He understood that small, consistent efforts create extraordinary results over time. Imagine wanting to transform your body, but feeling discouraged by slow progress. Instead of quitting after a week of intense effort, adopt a daily practice. Spend 15 minutes each morning doing basic exercises. Track your progress. Record the number of push-ups you can do today versus last month. The same principle applies to mental growth. If you're trying to become more confident, practice speaking up once a day, whether it's sharing an idea at work or complimenting a stranger. These small actions compound into big changes. Musashi's wisdom: the path to mastery isn't a sprint. It's a series of steady, deliberate steps. Commit to daily improvement, and the results will follow. Miyamoto. Musashi's teachings show us that doing hard things isn't about brute force. It's about strategy, consistency, and mindset. By starting small, embracing imperfection, and practicing daily, you'll build the discipline to conquer any challenge. Which of these strategies resonates with you the most? Let me know in the comments. And remember, The journey to mastery begins with a single step. Start yours today.